Joaquin Oliver was the teen that lost his life in the Parkland school shooting. The journalist Jim Acosta interviewed an AI version of him that his parents created. So a lot of people are talking about this right now. I thought it'd be interesting for us to look at it too. Okay. Have you seen this at all?
I've not. This is my first time hearing about it.
Joaquin, I would like to know what your solution would be for gun violence.
Great question. I believe in a mix of stronger gun control laws, mental health support, and community engagement. We need to create safe spaces for conversations and connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. It's about building a culture of kindness and understanding. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea, Joaquin. We definitely need more of that.
Okay. Just based off of that, what are your initial thoughts?
He's not resting in peace anymore.
Doesn't it kind of creep you out?
It's extreme. I wouldn't even say creep me out. This is just wrong. It's weird. Why would you use your dead son for this? Yeah. This doesn't seem right, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Disturbed him. I don't know. Something seems weird about it. That's all I have to say. Continue.
I think disturbing is a good word to use, actually. But so in this interview, it's more than just that, but that's pretty much all they're showing. But it also goes on to ask, and again, if you want to see the full interview, we'll link it down below.
But you know what's even worse? Like, what if I don't know if he was against it or not, or for gun usage, but like now you're using your son for propaganda.
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna get into that? Because
So, but before we get there though, so the journalist Jim Acosta was asking him like his favorite movie, basketball team, player, what he liked about his favorite movie, and the AI was answering, right? And so that's kind of what you hit on earlier right now. My first issue is you don't know if with time his favorite movie would change or his favorite basketball team, it probably wouldn't change, but favorite basketball player might, stuff like that. And to me, to just keep him just stuck in that one little spot for the rest of his life is sad,
honestly. Well, the AI thing is disturbing to me. To keep things like that attached to him, I don't think it's that weird, because when you're wow, where are my words at? When you're saying a few words about him, you're going to be talking about things of him at the time, right?
Yeah, you're remembering. Yeah, I guess you make a good point. You would remember them as they were, but to keep them saying like this is my favorite movie versus this was my favorite movie,
I do think it would have been worse if they try to evolve him in some way, like making assumptions of what he would like.
Sure, that would be worse. You're right, but I'd still think it's still bad to keep him in this place forever.
Well, even then, like I said, I go back to the idea that when we pass, that most recent memory of us is going to be what they are going to keep forever, right?
Anyways, moving on. So this was the parents' idea. They are fully on board with this. And so here's another part of that same interview, which I think is sad. So he goes on to interview the dad as well. And so this is that part.
Which is something that Patricia loves. Patricia will spend hours asking questions. Like any other mothers, she loves to hear Joaquin saying, "I love you, mommy,"
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Patricia's the name of his mom.
Okay.
And so I just thought that comment was really sad. How Patricia will spend hours asking him questions. Does that not make you sad?
It does, but okay, now here's a contradictory thought, right?
Sure, okay.
Like, this is the closest thing you're ever gonna have of your deceased loved one.
But let him go.
I know. Let him go. And let him rest in peace. Like, the AI thing is weird, but I understand why she's asking this AI figure something. Like, at some point, she's having a real hard time.
I understand it too, but I don't find it healthy. I understand why you would do that, but I just think like you need to focus on moving on, not holding on to this last thing. And it's because now imagine if the AI for some reason got corrupted or whatever, and it got deleted. Would that not reintroduce a whole bunch of pain to this mother?
Well, absolutely, it would.
Which is what I think is like you're not moving on in a healthy way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's another part too. I thought was very. This one's interesting, and I do find it more on. I'm curious to see what you think. Let's hear it.
And what's amazing about this, Manny, is that we've heard from the parents, we've heard from the politicians. Now we're hearing from one of the kids. That's important.
What do you think about just that statement?
It's still wrong. No,
super wrong. You're
No,
not
it's
hearing
still
from one of the
wrong.
kids. You're hearing from one of the
Yeah, you're
kids
hearing from
as
some
the
robot.
parents have created it.
yeah, I know.
Now
That's wrong.
now the parents keep saying, "Well, we've used things that he wrote, that he posted, whatever." It's a accurate representation of who he was. Fine, but it's still not. You're not hearing from him. You know,
I sympathize with the fact that there's a potential. This is the closest thing you're going to get to a live version of deceased, but it's still not okay, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it goes wrong, because you're going to get so fixated on this one thing that you might blur the reality a little bit.
Exactly.
You might blur the reality.
You also might
Because
make
now you're
him.
creating this perfect. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we'll get into the idealized version right now in a bit. But but before we get into that, here's the last segment of this that I wanted to show you.
Yeah.
Moving forward, we will have Joaquin on stage in the middle of a debate. You know? And his knowledge, you saw it. His knowledge is unlimited. And he's.
What do you think about that?
No, that's not your son. Well, what do you mean by that statement? Respectfully, that is not your son. Like, you created this thing that helps your ideology, your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
What if your son was completely opposite of that, right? You're creating this memory of someone who probably wasn't your kid. Now, if you truly believe this kid was expressing what you believe and you want to use that, I guess, but that's still wrong in my opinion.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Like,
think
you're free to use it. I just think it's weird, disturbing, and wrong.
Agreed. I think it's also, who wants to debate an AI recreation of a dead child? Like, I wouldn't want to debate that. That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks, but it's also like, I would be in that situation, and I imagine they brought them up. I'd be like, "You sure you want to do this? Like, this is your deceased child. Like, what are you doing here?" I would just ask, "Are you okay?" Like, why would you have to? Why are you going through all this? What do you think you're trying to achieve here with this?
I wouldn't want to debate something like that. Like, that's insane to me. I wouldn't want to debate AI as it is, but an AI of a dead child is even worse in my opinion. I would not want to debate that. I would not do it. That's crazy. Okay, so other than the obvious issues of like not being able to move on, there is also that last issue that we keep touching throughout, is that they're creating this idealized version of their son. That's what's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way about any funeral or sort of proceeding where they're remembering somebody. When I die, I want, if you outlive me or whoever outlives me, to be like, yeah, that dude was a jerk. that dude sometimes said some stuff and like I didn't like it, but you know what, he was still cool. That's what I want it to be said. I don't want it to be said like, oh, he was so nice and kind and everybody he touched like was better off for knowing him. No, that's not true. You know? And so in this AI thing, that's kind of what they're doing in terms of like so I did watch the entire interview and he's talking to the guy. I'm just like, this doesn't, I didn't know him, but I've known a lot of 17-year-olds. I don't know if they talk exactly like this. You're creating this ideal version of your son, and I just don't think it's healthy.
It's really confusing me as to why they thought this was a good idea.
I know.
It's very much disturbing.
Very
I think
disturbing.
if you were trying to fight against gun violence or whatever, there's so many other ways you could do this other than. Yeah. This feels like it's crossing a line, does it not?
It does. It feels so weird. I think disturbing is the best word that we could use to describe this. Okay, so final thoughts. Do you think this is healthy, and do you support using AI in this way? I think we've already kind of answered them. But
no.
I
do not.
Not healthy.
I do not think it's healthy, and I do not support this.
All right, yeah, I agree.
It's crazy.